You're listening to the Roofing Success Podcast, a show created to inspire roofing contractors to achieve optimal success in their roofing businesses. I'm the host, Jim Moline, the co-author of the book, Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors, How to Triple Your Sales and Turn Your Roofing Website into an Online Lead Generation Machine. I'm also the co-founder of Roofer Marketers, the digital marketing agency for the roofing industry. On each episode, I'll be sitting down with industry leaders to talk about their processes, the lessons they've learned, and how to find success in roofing. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast. As always, please like, share, comment, subscribe to our channel. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on the podcast networks, sign up there. Please leave us a review. The more that you guys do that, the more that our content reaches our audience. Also, if you're interested, join the Roofing Success group on Facebook. And so just go to Facebook, type in Roofing Success. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how goals change. I have Ray Rannigan from Texas Vets Roofing, and down in Texas, of course, right? I've been I've had a lot of Dallas area people on the show lately, and it maybe that's because that's kind of the mecca of roofing. What do you think, Ray?
I agree with you. This is
that is the mecca of roofing. So Ray's on the women's panel at Win the Storm this year, and so that's how we kind of connected. I'm on the marketing panel. She's on the women's the women's success panel there, and so wanted to have her on and have a conversation because they have an interesting story. So Ray, how did you get into roofing?
So I come from a family of roofers.
All right.
My grandpa was a roofer. My cousins, my uncles, we are all. Have you ever heard that you have something in your blood? I think I have roofing in my blood. It just runs.
Definitely, yeah.
You can't beat it.
So you grew up in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get pulled into the business? Were you brought out to to the job sites to clean up nails, or how did you?
I have done that many times growing up, and then we kind of started our own business about 10 years ago.
Yep.
And it's great. I mean, here in Dallas, you have a lot of hailstorms. So what better way to go than roofing?
That's right.
Busy.
So tell us a little bit about your business. Well, you guys started about 2012. And speaking to you a little bit early, a few days ago, we were talking about how, you guys it was a good business, but it was just more of your living. You weren't shooting to be like a $10-20 million company.
Yeah, so we started it just to make a living for ourselves. We have, 3 young boys, and you can make a good living doing roofing. And so it's always just been me and my husband. However, within the past, and we made a good living at it. I mean, it's helped us to open multiple businesses. But then here in the past couple of years, things kind of shifted, things started changing. And not only did we want to be successful, but we wanted to bring other people on so they could learn how to be successful, themselves.
Yeah, to pass that on. That's a big thing, right? Like to be able to pass that knowledge on. And roofing is a great industry to be in. And you can make a great living in roofing, right?
Yeah.
So what do you have now? Like number of salespeople and employees and things like that right now? I know you guys are on a hiring spree, but
we are on a hiring spree. So we have 10 guys in our office that are sales teams. And we just brought on, I think, 6 more last week. So we're going through that training process.
Yep.
And within the past 6 months, I hired 3 ladies in my office and an estimator. So it's kind of just growing, man. It's great.
Nice. So who would you say your ideal customer is?
Someone who does their research. Exactly. I mean, that's what I tell all my customers. Do your research on who you're hiring. That way, whenever you get in front of me, there's none of this, back and forth. You know who I am. You know what I'm about. You've seen my reputation. I'm here to do a good job and no haggling.
No haggling. Well, you guys have it's been I mean, there's really not a lot of haggling over the insurance claims process, right? But I think the homeowners in Texas still want to haggle, right? Like, how have you managed that? And especially with the changes in the laws over the past couple of years and things like that. How have you dealt with that and explaining that to the homeowners?
I just explained to them that it's, like deductibles is where we're going at. Everybody wants their deductibles, and there's people out there that will do it. However, I have integrity, and there's not a deductible out there that's worth me getting red flagged with insurance or fined or jail or any of it. And I just let them know, if you want a company that has integrity, then I'm your guy. But if someone's willing to eat your deductible, then they're going to cut corners somewhere, because first off, they're being dishonest.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And there's not a contractor out there that's willing to take money out of their own pocket.
No. Not
it's going to come off of your roof somewhere.
That's right. It's coming off of your roof somewhere. So what do you guys do? All residential, commercial? What do you focus on there?
So we have, for the longest, was mainly residential. However, we're breaking into the commercial aspect of it. We have been, like, we do all the Whataburger's roofs, and we've done them for about 2 years now.
Oh.
But we're kind of, that is also shifting. We're starting to look more onto the commercial side of it. So I'm going to separate and have a commercial division and then a residential.
That's great. And so what do you think, how do you position yourselves in the eyes of your customers? Like, what would you say is unique about Texas Vets Roofing?
Oh, man. So our customer service, like I had told you before, it's above and beyond with the spirit of excellency. So with that saying means, like if I do something, if I do your roof, or if I do something inside your house, a remodel or something, and you're not 100% happy and you have legitimate reasons, I will go into my pocket to give back to make sure that, you're happy at the end of the day. I've done it before. So it's not something that it's just words. I've literally had to make my customer happy.
Yeah. It happens, right? Like you gotta make it right. And the customer's not always right, but sometimes you have to make it right just to make them happy. Yeah. How have you guys marketed yourselves over the years?
Oh, so marketing, we never did marketing. We've just recently started, since we started bringing on sales guys.
Yeah.
We just recently started looking into some marketing and doing campaigning through our website. However, before, it's always been word of mouth that we got that we've grown to where we're at today.
Nice. So what do you think, in that word of mouth marketing that you've done, what do you make sure that you ask ask people for the referral? How do you, or are you just leaving it up to the customer?
No, it's like in anything. If you ask, you're going to receive. So whenever I do a good job for you, I'm going to ask you, hey, if you're happy with my services, the greatest, gift that you could give me is to refer me out to your family and your friends, and leave me that 5-star review. An honest review.
Yeah. And that's I think that's a big thing is you get what you ask for, right? So if you don't ask, you're not going to get it. So I know in our previous conversation and with Win the Storm and stuff, we're talking about like your goals changing, right? So, I mean, you guys were making a good living. You had a couple $1 million a year roofing business, but now the goals have changed.
Yeah.
And I think this is interesting. And this is something that, what shifted?
So with me and my husband doing it, you can only reach a certain limit. You have a cap, a ceiling. And so when we got there, we started meeting these amazing people that started kind of coming into our lives. We are a very a biblically based business,
Okay. Yep.
And whenever we have these people that are coming to our lives, there's a reason behind it. And we hear their stories. Like, my story is not like everyone else's. Therefore, whenever someone is introduced to me and I hear their story and I hear their heart, then it makes me want to give them a foundation and an opportunity to have what I have. I've literally didn't have anything. There was times that I was living with my mom with the brand new baby and didn't have any money. The first job we did, we had to borrow money. So,
Yeah.
and to be able to give that back to someone that you see is in that same place, it really makes your heart, it puts your heart in a different, it just lines you up in a different direction.
It does. And that's what was amazing. That's when, when we had our first conversation, like, we're all in, like, there's a lot of reasons to be in business, right? The first reason that we get into business is, to pay our bills.
Correct.
And then maybe it's, wow, now I can grow this thing and maybe I can do a little bit more or have more. And a lot of times a lot of people's story is have more, but right, there's a different part of that, and that's do more. And so what is your guys' goal for 2021?
Our goal is, it started out at 7, but I think it's growing because we want to give away. So we like to give.
Yeah.
So we're trying to give away $100,000 to our church. That's our goal this year. And to be able to give back at least one roof a month for a year to a veteran or a person in need. And in order to do that, we have to make money.
That's right.
So that's what we're doing. That's our whole goal this year, is to give.
That's so cool, because that's a different focus. And then that's a different drive on a day-to-day basis, right? You're not waking up for you. You're not waking up in the morning you're waking up and getting to work for a much bigger purpose. So around that, okay, so you guys created a nice living for yourselves, and now you started creating opportunities for other people that have come across your path. Tell me a story about that.
So like for employees or for
like a root, like someone that you've brought on and taught the business to and kind of helped along the way.
Okay, so we have a couple of people that are doing that. We have several actually that are come on that had, they were in a certain industry and they were barely making it. And so not only did we bring that one person on, but not only did we bring him on, but we brought his wife on as well, and so it's given them an opportunity because they were right where we started, and it's given them that opportunity to start stepping up, and it's given them more responsibilities, and it's showing them that they have someone like us that's got their back. I think every person in our office and on our team has a story, and each person is just really digging in deep to help us to take this to another. They all have the same vision. They all have the same goal,
That's really cool when you can align everyone in, like, have that, the kind of buzzword, it's company culture, but it's really just like the people that are around you. So a lot of you said, a lot of the people that have come into your business have come across just in life. How would you say, so you're not, well, you guys are now actively recruiting, aren't you? You're actively recruiting salespeople and things like that, or are you just kind of letting it
out, man? I don't know. It's good. We have like you was talking about culture. So we have a really good culture. Yeah. And again, we're all, everybody that comes in here, they hear our heart. And when hear our heart, they see our tears, they see our struggles, they see our vision, they want to be a part of that because it's real. I'm not just telling you something. I'm going to get in the dirt with you. We're going to build this together.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah. And so how do you think, I bet that comes across to the homeowner also?
Oh yeah. Oh, we're very vocal. Our homeowners. So there's been so many people that we've met that we've done, when a lot of people, you do a roof, you move along, and there's been so many that we do a roof and we don't move along. We become friends. We build, relationships with one another. They can call on us. During this snowstorm, one of our guys that we did a roof for called on us because they were stuck, and we were there to help them, and we were there to pick them up at the hospital. There's just things that you do. You can relationships. It doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop whenever I walk off of your yard.
That's so cool. That is so cool. And that's, there are a lot of people that just think of get the check and move on.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
right?
Yeah.
Get the
You meet
check and
out
move
so
on.
many great, amazing people when you do that.
Yeah, there are. Like how have you grown your personal circle because of it, right? Like it's not a job to you,
No.
right? It's not a job. Um, so one of the goals is to do a free roof per month to a veteran in the area. Have you gotten started on that yet?
Yeah, we already have. We've
All
already
right.
done a few this so far. So January, we missed January. So we started this in February. So we
Okay.
have one to catch up on. But so we've done one a month so far. We've the first one we did was it Channel 4 News? Yeah, Channel 4 News came out and did a write up on it. We've done roofs before in the past, but we never marketed it or
Yeah.
shared the story. We kind of kept it to ourselves.
Yep.
Here recently, we've had some mentors in our life that's helping us, and they're like, "No, you've got to do this.
You got to share that.
Story,
Yeah.
especially if you want to, continuously give more roofs away."
Yeah.
And so we did one February, and then we did one this month as well.
So give me an example of one of the people that you've done the roofs for. What was their story and how did what did they need from
Oh.
you guys?
So one of Kay Ward was our February. She was a disabled vet. She had severe nerve damage, so she was on a cane, had breathing problems. Their roof was it was horrible. They had no insurance. They had holes in their roof, so they had bags taped to the ceilings to catch the
Oh,
water.
wow.
And it was just so their decking was out of there. It was so bad. And when we met her, we went over there and she was an amazing woman. She was just down on her luck, and you could tell that she really needed help because everybody out there is gonna to come at you with a bunch of stories, and you just kind of got to vet your people, you
Yeah.
know. And there was no doubt that she was the person that's supposed to get the roof. So we went in there and redecked her house and did her roof and upgraded her also to like a lifetime shingle and all that good stuff. So she got top of the line.
That's awesome.
Pretty awesome.
How are you finding the people to donate these roofs to?
So we do it in a couple of different ways. So we've publicly spoke it. So now we have people who are sending us emails and things like that. And once we get the emails, we'll go out, we'll meet the person, and now we're getting a lot more in. So we have to do a drawing because we can't do every roof
Oh, wow.
so now we'll just do a live drawing and whoever wins it, We would
Yeah.
love everybody, but
Well, eventually you will be able to, right?
eventually,
Like
yeah.
if you keep going on the path that you're on, you
Yes.
might be able to do to help everyone that needs a roof in Dallas in the whole DFW area, right? Like
That's my goal.
that's right. And so but that's so cool that you guys got to do that. Um, how did you put this together? Like how did this come together, with you and your husband and figuring out this is what we want to do? Was it like, was it just something you thought of one day, or is it something that just kind of started building upon itself over time?
Um, so we come from a family of veterans.
Yep.
So we've always done things for veterans. Like we started out with wheelchair ramps, home remodels, things like that. And then the roofing kind of I met a veteran one day out in Ennis, and he didn't have any insurance. He didn't have anything. And I called my husband and I was like, "Oh my God, I just met this guy. He's awesome. I think we need to do his roof." And that was our first, and it was just from that moment, from that guy, that was like 4 years ago, from him, that's when it slowly started transitioning into us doing these roofs. It wasn't happening every year.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we did do one every year, but it was only one roof. So now it started picking up two a year. And now we're like, you know what? We're blessed. Let us bless someone.
Yeah.
We're good. So let's do this.
Yeah, that's so cool. And it just and that's so it just started with just meeting a homeowner.
Meeting a homeowner.
Just meeting a homeowner.
Sitting down with him and listening to his story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, stories are powerful, and your guys' story is powerful, and I think it's going to definitely impact a lot of people. What what things? How do you guys? You have a great reputation online and everything. What are you doing to attract those reviews from people? I mean, I know you're just putting yourself up, what, but do you have anything built into the process? Or when now, like we talked about, it's going to be different with a lot of new salespeople, right? So let's talk about that. How do you plan on putting your culture into your salespeople and making sure that they're delivering that same level of customer service?
Yeah, so that's been a scary one for me too. I've always that's one thing that's kind of scared me from growing our business is because of our reputation, and whenever you do start bringing in different personalities and different people, you have an opportunity to start losing, when it comes to your reviews. However, we do like personality tests, so we get to figure out how people are, and then whenever you know their personality, you know how to train better, you know how to communicate with them better. And so we do that. We communicate. We have a Texas Vets Roofing University, so they go through a 2-week training, and then they go out on a roof with me. They go out on a roof with my husband, and then we have a sales manager that they go out on a roof with. So we don't just throw them to the wolves. You're not out there just knocking random doors, don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so you have some training that goes along with it. And then again, we tell you what we're looking for. We share it with you. And then if you don't agree with that, then at that time, then you're probably not going to be a good fit for this company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I think a lot of people get hung up on that. A lot of people get hung up that they have to make the perfect hire.
Yeah.
And so they get worried on the front end, right? Of hiring people, when a lot of times you have to bring someone in and be with them and train them and see how they work and how they communicate and how they do things to know if they're the right hire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to do the role playing. You got to do all of that.
Yeah.
You have, what is that? The diamond in the rough, that
Yeah.
you just because somebody looks a certain way and talks a certain way doesn't mean that they're not going to be a great salesman or a great talker. You got to give that person an opportunity to show you who they are.
Yeah, definitely. So you said you guys put together kind of a university, so you have, so walk me through that training process that initially.
So they come in here and they do like a 2 weeks. They watch on what damages look like, how to measure a roof. I teach the guys how to sketch a roof. Then you learn about the different materials. You got to know your materials when you're on a meeting with the homeowner. You can't sound like you don't know what you're talking about. You got to know what you're selling. So they know that. They hear us, so they'll go out with us and they get to hear our pitch. Every pitch is going to be different, but it's all got to kind of come underneath the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they got all these different things. We go with ABC or Southern Shingles, and they'll get to go through their training and the materials that way. So, or links, we train them on that. So you have
nice.
to your CRMs. So yeah.
Yep. How's when we talk about pitching the same, what do you teaching them in that? What's like you had said, like you want to have them pitching the same. Mm-hmm. So expand on that a little bit.
So I don't need one person knocking the door and saying something completely opposite of what we're doing. So we all knock the door the same. It may not come out the exact same, but this is what we're here for. This is who we are. Check out our reviews. Here's our packet. Look at us. Let us inspect your roof. While you're inspecting the roof, contact my referral list that's in here. There's process and steps of everything that we do. Yeah.
Nice. So you've put a very detailed process together that now you're comfortable bringing on that next person and the next person and the next person. How long did it take you to get those processes together?
We're still working on them.
That is the thing.
That's what stop. It's always changing.
Always changing, right? Isn't it
Always.
like, but and that's, I think, a lot of times what holds people up too, is
Yeah.
they think, well, I have to get this process perfect so that I could teach it to someone else, but really it's going to change.
Yeah.
So you got to just get it out there, right? You put it together and then you make your tweaks and then you start running that process and you go, oh, I got to add this or take this out. And yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's an ongoing thing for sure.
Yep.
Do you do what do you do anything special on production day on the day of the build that you think makes you stand out versus your competitors?
So yeah, so we send out pardon the interruption, letters, and just like to that street, that means so if any trash blows over into your yard, call us, we'll come and clean it up. We do those. We set up a tent, we'll have drinks and things like that. So flags with our name, that kind of stuff.
Well, you talk about it like it's just nothing.
We've been doing it for a minute.
You're doing it for a long time. You're like, we just set up tents and drink.
A little tent, get a little coffee going. I mean, we're working on some different things. Like me and a couple of the girls have been talking about like maybe doing some raffling, setting up and having people stop by this summer and having some coolers and some different things out there. That way you can kind of market yourself that way.
Yeah. And I think that's a big part of it. The attracting more deals from the neighborhood, right? That like once you're in the neighborhood, you got to make yourself known, right?
Yeah.
You have to stand out. You have to put on almost a performance, right? Like, and if you do that right, that's what leads to, you're Bob and Judy, you're doing Bob and Judy's house. Oh yeah, sure. Come on, do a roof inspection, right? Like it's part of the, that long-term value. Once you get one in the neighborhood, what do you think on average? Do you think, I mean, I know it's kind of hard to say on average, but like if you get one house in the neighborhood by the way that you're doing it with the pardon the interruption letters, with the, setting up the tent and the banners and drinks and things like that, how many would you expect every time that you get a house in the neighborhood? What do you expect out of that neighborhood?
Depending on your neighborhood, at least 2 or 3 on that street.
Yeah.
You have we did Arlington one year, and I have a picture. We had that whole street lined up with our little yard signs. I mean, it was nice, both sides. It was yellow
Pretty,
and red.
right?
So that was a good year, but it's not like that in every. So I would go with like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 and 3 additional,
Yeah.
right? So now you're getting 3 to 4 roofs out of that one, right? So what you got to get in the neighborhood, you get the one, now you got 3, 4 roofs from that neighborhood. And it just, it expands from there. What do you think? Are you doing anything special on social media or anything like that?
Well, we've recently, so I used to do a lot of like on the roof videos. Like I would get on the roof and I would talk to the
Yep.
hey, this is what I'm seeing. This is what's out there. Just kind of giving a little bit of knowledge to the people. Now I have someone else that's taking care of it. So it's kind of, well, actually I've given my sales guys the opportunity to kind of get out there and do their own videos and their own things. And so it's growing. It's just, you get a lot of different pieces from everyone else. Yeah.
And that's what I think, that's what you have to do. You have to open it up to your sales team for sure, even your production managers and things like that, when to get everyone involved, especially when you're on that path to growth, right? Yeah. Like this it's not just you anymore, you and your husband anymore. There's so much, beyond that. So what, if let me see here. You had said in the hiring process that you guys are using personality tests. So with those personality tests, are you looking for a specific personality, or are you had also mentioned that you're using it to understand how to communicate to that new hire?
Yeah, we're not looking for a certain personality. I mean, that would be kind of dull if you would have the host the same personality. You wouldn't be exciting. But it's just learning how to communicate with them, because I can't communicate with a type A personality like I would a type B. So just learning who they are and what kinds of, is it words of affirmation that you need? What do you need from me to make you continuously do the best that you can and succeed in this? So whenever we're doing these personalities and we're reviewing them and we're kind of studying them, it just helps us to be able to give our guys what they need.
Yeah. And so so I guess you have to be conscious of that then and remember, hey, this person is this type of personality. So
before I have a conversation, I'm going to come pull it out and be like, okay, got it.
All right, Joe needs words of affirmation.
Joe needs some words of affirmation. I need to go tell this guy, you're doing an amazing job.
Oh, that's funny. So what do you think the greatest insight is that you could share with our audience that has helped you guys find success in your roofing business?
The greatest is to just have an open mind and an open heart and to listen to what, because you can hear what people are saying all the time, but to really listen to what they're needing and to listen to what your customer needs and what your employees need and those kinds of things, it really kind of expands your business, expands your mind, and it's able to allow you to grow in multiple areas of your life.
That's awesome. This has been another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast. If you would like to generate more sales through your digital marketing efforts, please visit roofermarketers.com and get a copy of the book, Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors, How to Triple Your Sales and Turn Your Roofing Website into an Online Lead Generation Machine. Also, check the training section of the website for guides on everything from running effective pay-per-click ads to how to properly set up your Google My Business listing. This has been another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast. Thanks for listening.